Yo, what's good everyone? Wesley Paul back again, and this time round is part two of working on our chord progressions. So if you remember from the last video, we had this. So if you remember, let's go back to our chord progression chart. So we started off in A minor, we did a 1, 4, 5, and then we changed it and put it into D minor, sticking with our 1, 4, 5, and then we ended with what I've just played. So what we're going to do in this video is take that boring chord progression we've made and turn it into something a lot better, hopefully. Okay, so there's a lot of things that we can do to make this chord progression better. I'm just gonna go through a load of different things, and then you can see what I've done. So first of all, let's take the bottom notes. So just hold shift, press on all of the bottom notes, and then hold shift and press down on your arrow, the down arrow key, and then press alt and hold those bottom notes and drag them up. So the first note should be on A, okay? Because A is already in that chord. If you remember, we've got A in this, so now we're playing A twice, okay? The next thing we're going to do is what's called an inversion. We're going to take these top two notes on the last two, so on the fourth and the fifth chord, we're going to highlight the top two notes, hold shift, and we're going to bring those down. So when you do that, that's an inversion. So we're still playing the exact same chord, we're just playing it at a different position. Yeah, it's the exact same chord. So now let's have a listen to see what we've got. Okay, it already sounds a lot better. So what we're going to do now is Alt A, if you're on Windows, and then copy that. So Alt C. Okay, so just leave that copied for now. We'll go into paste that into track 2 in a moment. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to want to do is play around with the rhythm of this. So what I mean by that is, rather than just having the chords playing so robotically, we're going to move some of the position of the notes to change the rhythm. There's no sort of, I don't know how to say this, it's just like you just have to move them and just do it as though you was actually playing the keyboard. So let's see what we can come up with. Actually, what I'm gonna do is put those back. Press Alt A, and then I keep saying, oh, it's Control, not Alt, it's Control, and then Control /, and now that drops all of your chords into 2. Yeah, and now let's listen. Yeah, so that was just a quick one. So just chop some of the notes, just had them playing at different times, and then that's what I've come up with. Right, this right here. Cool. Now that we've done that, we go to the 3 lines, edit, and then we go to humanize. Okay. So where it says humanize time, I like to leave it around 28. You can do this as wherever you want. Just have a play around until you've got something that you like. I like to leave it around 28. And then with the velocity, I like to leave it somewhere in the 40s or 50s. Let's do it at 50. Press do it. And now let's have a listen. Okay, so can you hear that where it doesn't quite sound right? It's because the notes they're going into one another. So what we're going to do is Control A, not Alt A, Control A, and then hold Shift, and then drag the notes back a bit so they're not touching each other. And now let's have a listen. Okay, perfect. Now what we're going to do is we're going to change the sound. I don't want to use a mini grand piano, so what we're going to do is change that. So if we go to the MPC plugins, I'm going to keep it stock. Let's go to electric, and you know what? We can just leave it on the default one there. And then what we're going to do now, we're going to play around with some of the effects. So first thing I'm going to do is just turn the release up slightly. Actually, let's come into it this way. And then see, it's already got a tremolo one there, but what I'm going to do is turn the depth up a little bit. And the reverb, I want to turn the mix up a little bit as well. And the chorus is already on. You see the lights on here. I'm going to turn the depth up on that a bit as well. Let's have a listen. Cool, I like that. So what we're going to do now is go over into track 2. And on track 2, I've already got instance of tube synth loaded up, and I've got a pad loaded up. So do you remember we did a copy earlier? Now we're going to paste the chord progression into there. Let's hear what it sounds like. I'm going to turn it right down. So what we're doing right now is we're layering our chord progression. We can hear what it sounds, so we're going to transpose it down 1 octave. Cool. Ideally, we would probably put some effects on that as well, but we're not going to do that right now. We've already just learned how to do some stuff, some effect stuff. So now we're going to go over into track 3. I've got another instance of tube synth loaded up. This time I've got a lead, and it's the simple sine lead. Now, if we go over into pad perform, make sure we're now, so we started off in A minor, now we're in D minor. So make sure you've got D minor selected here. And where this is really good is all of your pads now are only going to play notes that are within your scale. So it's only going to play what's in the D minor scale. So no matter what you press, you're not going to be out of key. So what we'll do right now is we're going to play the chord progression and see if we can come up with a melody. what I'm going to do right now is actually go over to sequence, right click, and let's double the length. Okay, now let's record in our lead. Just going to leave it like that, nice, basic and simple. Yeah, we've got one out of place there, not to worry. Cool. Now what we can actually do is the exact same thing for our bass. So if we go over again, well, in track 5, I've got a bass line loaded up. So I've gone to, still using stock plugins, I've got a simple sine sub bass in there. And where it's been made easier to put a bass line in now is we know we've done a 1-4-5 chord progression. So when we're playing our bass, alright, so let's actually bring that octave down to 0. We do 1-4-5. We can actually play along with the chord progression. Yeah, but what we're going to do is we're going to make it a bit more interesting. Rather than just playing the notes at the same time as the chord progression, we're going to use some of the other notes within the scale to come up with something a little bit more interesting. Yeah, so when you found what you like, just record it in. Yep. I forgot I double lengthed it, but let's bring that first ones off a bit. And then we can now just highlight it all, Control D to bring it over. Now let's have a listen to what we've got. So if you want to, on the second couple of bars, you can do a little bit of variation. Oops. Then let's see. Let's bring that one down. Let's bring that one across. To be honest, there you have it. We took that simple chord progression that we started with, those basic chords, and we've just done some editing of them and added a lead and a bass line, and now this is what we've got. So while I play this, we'll play myself out. Stay tuned for the next video where we're going to take a melodic loop and we're going to see if we can find the chord progression and layer it with our own chords. Thank you for watching. Take care. Peace out.
Feels good to say. Yeah, I had to go and pray, 'cause last month was a bad month.